Disclaimer: not everything we say on the show might be true. If you're questioning something we've said, make sure to check the Bible or a biblical, reliable source first. This is partly based on our opinions, and we may not get all our facts right. Thank you.
Hello, welcome back to the Church Kids podcast. I was rehired, so I'm back.
He also got ran over by a reindeer.
No, I just recovered.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a big scar on my shin, and that's from the antler. So,
Sure.
Yeah. But today we will be talking about truth, absolute truth, and relative truth.
Yeah,
So.
and just truth in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can start off the discussion. I read a little something today that was talking about why relative truth isn't really a thing, because it's not.
You should explain what relative truth is.
Yes,
Wait,
that's
I have a
good
relative
idea.
truth definition. Wait, but I need to pull it out. Relative is in relation to. So it doesn't really make sense because if there's
what's
relative
absolute truth?
Yeah,
What's absolute
then what's
truth?
absolute
truth. Definition
It's
for
just
that,
like-
but it's like
There's one truth.
yeah,
Not like, there's
no
like
other-
one truth for everything. Like, humans
it
need
doesn't
oxygen
change.
to breathe. That doesn't change.
Mhm.
That's an absolute.
Yeah.
Although, that's where it comes tricky. Yeah, because relative truth would say, I don't know what they would say. They could probably say humans need oxygen to breathe,
Okay,
but they do.
Or like
What's
probably
relative? Oh, go ahead.
relative truth is probably truth that has either changed or can be changed.
Like, everyone has their own truth. That's the
Yeah,
kind of thing
so
we're
it's like
talking
in
about.
relation to the person that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really popular concept modern today.
I just have something for you to ponder because it's kind of a confusing thing. But if people say that nothing is true and that there's no absolute truth, isn't that a truth?
Yep.
So then I don't
Any-
know.
That's an absolute.
Like if people say nothing is true, is that true?
Any absolutes.
I know, but like their
Are-
logic doesn't
But there-
logic.
Is absolute truth.
Only a
I
Sith
know,
deals
but
in
like their
absolutes.
logic doesn't
But I just don't listen to them.
What'd you say?
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Oh,
That's a Star Wars quote.
really? That's crazy.
What? I thought it was a My Little Pony quote.
And also, if something is relative, then, like Anna was reading the definition, it has to be relative to something. So, like, what? We have to have some moral standard of this is like, I'm talking about moral truth right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, killing someone is bad.
Yes.
And stuff like that. Or like, be kind to people. Like,
That is bad. Don't be kind to
People probably can take that as relative because, like, let's say it's situational. Like, being kind to somebody, like, what if, like, trying to think of an example. Like, what if you're pressed for time to, like, do something, and in that time you're supposed to be kind to somebody because, like, that's the right thing to do?
yeah, but where does that moral
But you-
standard come from? It has to be
Exactly.
relative to something.
Okay, yeah.
And at that point, there's an absolute, so just believe in that.
So, like, in order for something to be relative, there has to be something absolute that it's in relation to. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So the idea of relative truth kind of goes hand in hand with the issue of tolerance in today's world. And that's a pretty big issue. I feel like it's not addressed enough. But, like, I mean, it is addressed in today's world, but, like, I mean, it's just a big thing in today's world that I don't feel is addressed enough by, like, Christians. I don't know. Maybe it is, and I'm just imagining. But, so, like, people who are like, this is my truth, they're like, oh, and then another person, there's like, this is my truth. And those two people have to be tolerant of each other's truths. A according to like their standard, I guess, which isn't absolute, but so like people are like, you have to be tolerant to other people's truths. And as Christians, I feel like we should be, I don't know, we shouldn't really be tolerant because Jesus isn't tolerant of sin. Yeah. So like, and then and
okay, it's kind of like if your child runs out in the street, you're not just gonna be like, oh, that's what you want to do, good for you.
That's your truth.
You're like, out of love, you are like, don't do that. So like,
tolerance is different than love. Much different. Tolerance also, is tolerating.
With the whole truth thing, like being relative truth and stuff, like there is absolute truth, because if Mac's eyes are, what color are your eyes?
Brown.
You were looking down, I couldn't see them. If Mac's eyes are brown.
Whoa, Anna just knows my eye color off the bat. What?
Whoa. I'm just staring at Mac's eyes. Anyway, okay, if Mac's eyes are brown, but Elise says that they're blue, and Elijah says they're purple, and I say that they're orange. That's another color.
Yellow.
Green. Yellow. What color?
Sip Max.
That doesn't change the fact that his eyes are brown.
Yeah.
Like, I can be like, I think
he got contacts.
But I didn't.
But you could have.
But that still doesn't change the
That doesn't change my true eye color.
That still doesn't change the fact that his eyes are brown.
Exactly. I mean, I think a lot of people today, like, expect respect from other people. Like, a lot of the times, we, like, as Christians, we need to respect other people and, like, be kind to other people, because that's what God tells us to do. But if you can't demand respect from people. Like, that kind of respect needs to be granted to you.
And it comes through your actions, usually.
Yeah,
like,
but
not necessarily
I just feel like
what you say.
Yeah.
So.
I just feel like a lot of people today, well, not a lot of people, but there are people that will demand respect from other people.
Respect
and I don't think that's
or
right.
I will do bad things to you.
They're just trying to, like, build up themselves.
Yeah, and control situations.
I feel like there are different kinds of respect, though. It's like there's, like, respect that, like, when you first meet someone, like, you're just, like, sort of, like, kind and respectful. And then there's, like, after, like, knowing them for a long time, like, you respect them more and more, like, because of, like, their actions.
Then there's also the respect that's, like, in a fearful way.
Yeah. Like, you respect
police officers. Like, I know you could do bad things to me, so I respect you, and I
like, I respect police officers, because, one, that's what God tells us to do, but two, they could arrest me. I don't want to do that.
Does the Bible say that back? Where the Bible respect police officers.
No, it said respect your authorities, though.
Yeah, I know. It was just funny. That came to my brain,
silly, though.
And I was like, the Bible verse respect police officers.
So, what verse is that?
What verse is that back?
Hezekiah 4:12.
That's not a book of the Bible, in case you couldn't guess.
What?
Why do people say that truth is relative? Like, is it just because they don't like to be told what to do, or is it because other reasons?
It's because they don't want to believe that there could be, like, an absolute truth. Besides, like,
why not?
Like, the laws. Because some people don't want to believe in God. Like, sorry about the likes. My friend, her mom doesn't want to believe in God because her mom died, and she doesn't want to believe that she could have gone to hell. So she just, like, chooses not to believe that.
Out of fear.
Out of fear, yeah.
Okay, so that brings up the question then, do you think that absolute truth could exist without God?
No. Because, I mean...
I don't think it could.
Nothing.
Because, like, who would set the standard?
Yeah, there would be nothing without God, so...
So, do you guys think that, like, some things can be relative? Or is, like, everything an absolute? Like, I feel like some things can be relative.
Yeah, I don't think everything
favorite color is relative.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like...
My favorite color is red.
Mine's blue.
You didn't think about it for a second.
Well, I don't know for sure, because sometimes it's like pink and blue. It changes.
Gender reveal.
Oh.
And I like green. I like a lot of colors, actually.
Elijah, what was your favorite color?
Black, if it counts.
What? No, black is
Black.
the
At least
absence of
what's-
color.
Actually, I like white.
Actually-
White's
White is
probably my
I was gonna
favorite.
say, actually, white is the absence of color,
No,
and
isn't
black.
white all colors?
Mm,
No, it's black.
Anna is right. White is all colors. Black is the absence of colors.
Yeah.
So how do you guys think we can like argue against like people who are like, this is my truth, and then like, how do you argue against that?
Everything we just said.
No, but like they're just gonna say,
Specifics,
well, this is
Anna.
my truth. You should tolerate it.
I feel like truth needs to be
They'll just, if
for
they just
truth to
ignore
be
you.
truth. It needs to be backed up by evidence, like hard evidence that like people like truth. The sky is blue, like during the day without clouds. You can look up. The sky is blue during the day without clouds.
So there needs to be evidence.
For truth, absolute truth.
What if my truth is there doesn't need to be evidence for truth?
Well, then, is there evidence for that?
That's a bad truth.
That's a bad truth.
That's a bad truth.
That's a bad truth.
Just saying.
It is a bad truth.
No, I'd say that like evidence is a really good way to prove truth.
For sure, yeah.
That's one of the best evidence. It's like
Yeah,
in a crime scene, evidence and witnesses.
in a courtroom.
Courtroom. That's the right word. Sometimes words and I don't get along well.
Understandable.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's fair.
I'm really good at writing down words. I'm not good at speaking them.
That's also fair.
But if somebody walked up to you and he was like, "This is my truth. Be tolerant of it,"
No,
is that actually
why?
what you would say?
I'd say why.
Actually, you'd say why?
This is like.
My truth is not to be tolerant of your truth.
Well, they came up to me and
Then you're
said,
breaking
"Well,
the
hey,
absolute."
this Christianity is wrong." I'd ask why. Like the first thing I'd ask of people of their
You're
truths
like,
is
why do you think that?
Yeah, like why?
Because it's good to have people talk it through and listen to them because they're more likely to listen to you if you listen to them.
And also, like, if they themselves have to explain something, and then it doesn't end up making sense in their own explanations, then they're like, wait, hold up, this is weird. But that's the thing with arguments too. Like, you can't immediately be like, oh yeah, well this is true.
Mhm.
You need to listen to other people, because
sure.
if you don't listen to other people explain,
They're not going to be
then they're not going to be convinced. They're just going to argue with
They're
you.
going to be like, well, you just don't understand me.
Yeah.
What if they like refuse to believe you, but they are tolerant of you? That'd be weird.
Huh?
Like they're tolerant of a Christianity viewpoint, but they don't believe it.
Or they
I
can
just
be
think
like,
it's weird.
what if they're like, well, that's okay that you believe
Yeah,
that. I just
but
don't.
I just believe this. Then how would you approach that?
Like the flat Earth thing.
Like they're
Well-
just basically ignoring you. So how do you approach that? Then?
I feel like, I mean, they haven't heard what Christianity is. I mean, I assume that they probably have, but if they haven't, I'd probably ask and explain it. And then if they had, then I would ask why not. And then if they are still not convinced and I still can't convince them, then I'd let God work through them, pray for
'Cause
them. Because like,
It's not like we're trying to convince them. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
we can present things, but like it's
Mhm.
ultimately God who does the life changing.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
yeah,
And so, like, sure, we can debate all we want, but that's not really what exactly matters the most.
that's another good like point of like to evangelize to people or to preach the gospel to other people is like you can't make anything worse. Like God is going to do all the work, you're just presenting the information. And so you can't people are already in sin, so you can't make anything worse by preaching to people. Telling people the gospel. So you might as well go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Elise, why did you say
Well, I don't know. I see a whole bunch of like videos of people like preaching, and then people just get more mad. But it's usually just like the people who really refuse to believe that God exists, and they're like, "How dare you put your opinion out there? I'm going to put my opinion out there, and you have to believe mine, but I'm not going to believe yours."
And then they go all on about being tolerant of everybody's viewpoints, but they aren't tolerant of Christians.
Exactly. So that's the.
I don't like
But
the word tolerant.
you still
Exactly.
have to.
It's bad.
I mean, not have to, but you should go evangelize because it says to in the Bible.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
right position.
But that's just the thing. Like you can't you don't have to change everybody's minds. You're not supposed to change people's minds. God's the one who's going to do the work. So if it's not
You plant the seed.
Exactly.
She grows
Everything.
the flower.
exactly,
Woo! Yay!
good.
I made my contribution. I'll
that's,
stop
Elise,
talking now.
that's Elise's contribution for today.
My dad doesn't believe in the flat Earth anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did we convince him?
No. Apparently, he's always believed that the Earth is not flat. I'm really confused though because like every time I've talked to him about it, he's like, "Well, there's this."
Oh my gosh,
Blah.
that's really funny, actually.
Yeah, and he went up to his coworker and he was like, "I just found out the horriblest news of my life. The Earth is round." And he was like, and his coworker was like, "It's okay, you'll get through this."
You'll get through this.
Yeah, and then my dad was like, I'll just believe that the Earth is round until I find more evidence to prove that the Earth is flat.
Or that it's a sphere.
Yes.
In case you're wondering what we're talking about, go check out our conspiracy theories episode.
Yes.
Nice shameless plug, Elijah.
Okay, so that was our podcast. Sorry it was shorter than normal, but whatever. I do hope you enjoy
Whatever.
it though. Because you should enjoy all of our podcasts. Anyways,
That is
Wow. What? You should
That is
enjoy all of our
absolute
podcasts.
anyways, bye.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.